morning. Happy Tuesday. 7:45 a.m. June 17th. And it's 73 degrees. We had another storm yesterday. Not too bad, I don't believe. Of course, when I'm inside at work, it's hard to really know how bad it is. Unless it's just really bad right there. But that's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. So I hope all of you are doing well and that all of you had a wonderful Monday. Mine was about as good as it could get. Unless I won the lottery. But I didn't play the lottery, so I can't win. Yes, Bethany, you keep telling me I'm speeding when I'm not. I guess it's because the car is getting older. It doesn't realize that that's not where that's not the speed limit anymore. Oh well. She's all right. It's okay. So we'll talk about Timmy. I don't really have anything else to talk about today. I do have on that foundation that I mentioned yesterday, the e.l.f. Tint, Glow Tint, or whatever it's called, SPF 50, all mineral. And yesterday I wasn't sure about it. Today it did better. But I think the reason it did better is because I really exfoliated my skin. Good. Of course, the way this camera works and everything, it's hard to tell. The only way I could give it to you is if I turned it and did the back camera. And y'all, I'm sorry, I'm not going to scare you like that with that back camera. Because it would, I don't even think that, I've asked several people, and I'm like, do I look like that, the way that back camera is? And they're like, no. Because it makes me look like I've had a stroke. So, I don't use the back camera. Don't like it, don't use it. I use the front-facing camera. All right. And as far as I know, I've never had a stroke. And I know sometimes you can... my mouth turns crooked. I know this has nothing to do with Timmy. But it does turn crooked. And the way I hold my head because of my spine, I know that maybe that's the way it's picking up. But anyway, whatever. Let's move on. This video is not about me. It's about Timmy. And he loves it. He loves it when we talk about us. Talk about him. Whatever. He just loves it. Loves, loves, loves it. Alright, what is this guy doing? He don't know. He doesn't know. Alright, I'm going to come back. Okay, I could say something about this person that was beside of me, but I'll be nice and not. All right. So today, let me open my door up so it won't drain the battery. So we're going to talk about his video he put up yesterday, and we'll mention a little bit about the steak video I watched this morning, but, the only thing that there was something I wanted to say about that video. Oh, he can't remember Love's Truck Stop. And I can't believe. Now, I understand we all forget things at times. But to me, that's one of the things that's easy to remember about Timmy. It's about him stopping at Love's Truck Stop. But anyway. All right. So he went to the car wash. He went to Scooters and got him some coffee. And he's telling you, if you live in that area, to ask for James or Chris. Well, why do you have to ask for them? And then he's going over to the gym to get his pump on. And, of course, he's saying that yesterday morning he weighed in at 198. And that's 2 pounds heavier than what he weighed the day before. And all I can tell to Timmy, my advice is don't weigh every day. You're setting yourself up for failure when you start weighing every day. In my opinion, now that's my opinion, I would say weigh no more than twice a week. You know, have certain days, whether it's Monday and Thursday or Monday and Friday or whatever. Just set 2 days a week, weigh at the same time if all possible, and weigh either in the same clothing or weigh in the buff. Now, don't be filming yourself weighing in the buff. And I do suggest you film it, and you film it from where the scale stops at 0 and then you get on it. That way, we can't say anything about you manipulating the scale or anything like that. Another thing is, and I know people keep saying they can't tell, it still looks like, he is not going to show on camera until he has lost 20 to 30 pounds. I'm telling you, the scale adds weight. The camera adds weight. And anybody who thinks it doesn't, you've never really watched yourself on camera, is the way I look at it. I mean, I am nowhere near as heavy as this camera makes me look. And yesterday, somebody had left me a comment, and I tried to move it over so where everybody could see it. And it's the same person over and over again. You need to lose more than 20 pounds? Well, whoop-de-frickin' do. It looks like by your picture, who I'm sure is not the real picture of you, you need to lose just as much as I do, if not more. So, you're not doing any favors to anybody. All I'm saying is that all that does, if somebody is really has no self-confidence or is not used to being ridiculed all the time, you're gonna make them eat. And maybe that's your point. That's what you want to do. All right. So Jim Bauer sent him some YouTube video links. And, you know, I've not seen Jim in the comments lately. Now, is Jim just emailing him now? Or, you know, what is the status? Maybe Jim needs to comment. And let me bring up one thing that was in the steak video. He brought up Fred and Rafaela. Now, a few days ago, we were talking about we hadn't heard them mentioned. So, don't tell me the man doesn't watch. Don't tell me. And then there was something else that he brought up yesterday that made me think of that. See, I got brain fog on that when I should have remembered that I said he watches. Okay, so he's never going to call it a diet again. He's going to call it just carnivore. And he's claiming that people call it ketogenic now instead of keto. It was always ketogenic. Always. It's just people shortened it with keto. And he claims that he still likes to claim Atkins is the same thing. It is not. I mean, you can use Atkins, but Atkins eventually, as I said, brings in fruits and stuff. And keto doesn't do that. I mean, yes, when you get to maintenance, if you want to have a piece of fruit, go ahead. But you got to count it. You got to count it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, he starts preaching the Bible. And I'm not going to go through that because he don't know what he's talking about. He always makes the verses where it has to do with him. And I guess that that's typical for everybody. But it's just so prominent with him when he's talking. He says you cannot moderate addictions, and people try. Oh, that's what it was. He's admitting that he is a food addict. He's finally mentioning it. So I have been saying all along he's a food addict. Of course, I'm pretty sure that Blind Views has said it too, and maybe Life and Vibe has said it too. I'm not sure, but anyway, he's watching us. So because we've all said he's a food addict. I know he's a food addict because I'm a food addict. I can recognize him pretty quick. if I'm around them enough and watch them enough. So, and he is truly speaking the truth when he says that some foods are like crackpot heroin pills, whatever that is. Anyway, they are. I mean, there's some foods, if you get just the least bit of taste, you're going to eat them till you're almost sick when you're a food addict. And that's why I say I've learned to tell myself most of the time, and sometimes I do still fall off the wagon. Yes, I would love to lose weight, but right now I'm just trying to be a better person and a better eater. I try to watch every carb, but if I want something, I go ahead and get it. Anyway, but when I eat it, I know it's not something that I feel like I have to have. You know, it's not something I feel like that I've just got to have. All right. So he says children are addicted to knee highs and June bugs. And he says it's a real epiphany when you realize that you're addicted to carbohydrates. It is. I mean, when you realize that that's your problem, and, you know I see it every day. People talk about how awful the carnivore diet is. I'm sorry. I disagree wholeheartedly that the carnivore diet may not be the diet for you, but for some people, it saves their life. So, I'll leave it at that right there. And some people, keto saves their life. It's just, it depends on the person. But for you to, as I've said before, there's no studies on carnivore to see if it's really as bad as some people think, or is it really as good. You know why? Because they don't want to find out. This way, if it stays in the dark, you know, they can promote this here diet that they've been promoting for years, but yet people are miserable, people are in constant pain, and all I know is that when I really work at Carnivore, I feel better, and I look better. Okay. I know y'all have heard me say all that junk, and I'm the worst person because I can't do it. I mean, I can't do it like Blind Views can do it. I can't do it like my friend Jenny can do it, or like Lisa D1. I mean, I wish I was as strong as them, but I'm not. All right. So anyway, he says the proper human diet, meat, eggs, and butter, and ate to your satiated folks. You would live all these things you've been told are lies. Lies and BS, that's what he says. Everything's lies and BS. And then he starts talking about Social Security. What does Social Security have to do with eating carnivore? I know, so he can hashtag it Social Security. Because I made it one time saying if you are hashtagging something, you best be talking about it in there, in the video. I guess I can hashtag mine Social Security since I'm talking about it. All right. So now he's at scooters and all that junk. Oh, make sure you check your subscriptions, people, because you might have been unsubscribed. And then he starts talking about, that doesn't cost anything to subscribe. You know, he wants that plaque and all that junk. And then he wants to get to 1 million if he can. Don't forget he's got Amazon links and buy me a coffee. And then he's going to go over here and he's going to start talking about people who get on Twitter and Twatter, and he didn't mention TikTok today, but I'll go ahead and mention in TikTok and all them, and talk about negative things and talk about people. And, you know, he talks about that. He doesn't say, I'll get to it in just a second. Anyway, we're going to talk about right here where he talks about paying it forward or whatever. He said he stopped buying the $20 orders. And then he talks about today that he got a big donation from somebody named Richard. I wonder if that's true, like Police Don. And I know there's a person out there, Don, that in Texas that got some kind of award or something. I don't know. Anyway, it was in the news. So that could be where he picked that up at. Like I say, I want to see proof of these people. I'm not saying they have to come on camera or anything like that, but, you know, we never see comments from them. I mean, I guess Jay could let us know, has he made up, do you know if he makes up people? That's just a question. All you got to say yes or no. Or are we just reaching when we say that? Okay, Richard, he doesn't know if Richard is carnivore or not, but Richard sent him, bought him quite a few coffees, and then, you know, D&T bought him the Omaha steaks, and, you know, it's not about all that. It's not about clicking his link or buying him coffee. It's about being kind to somebody. Well, I think we're all pretty kind. We have a wonderful community, and we're very kind to each other. So we're kind. All right, let's move on here. Okay, if people do you wrong, just move on. You know, let God sort that out. Hey, we've been saying that for months, Tim. I've been saying that for months, to leave us alone over here in this community. Let us talk. Then he said he wasn't going to be no religious video. Then he talks about planting a garden. You know, he gives these examples. You know, I guess that's why if he really was sincere, he might make a decent preacher. But then again, he brings it back on himself. Oh, and here he is, once again, telling people to hit the 3 dots. Report it, but move on. Do not respond to evil with evil. Because no matter them, if you know you're an eagle, you soar high. That's why I tell you, make sure the light is always shining on you. And this coffee's got him hopped up. And then he went to that new LA Fitness, and he's talking about he notices the men. Well, you know, I guess if I go to a gym, I do notice women too, but I notice the men too. He didn't say nothing about the women. Now, is that because there's not any women there, or he's afraid he'll tick off, you know, his friend? And he did admit today his friend was a she. In that steak video, he said that he got him a pork loin or something like that, and because his friend liked pork loin or whatever it was. That's so good, Timmy. I hope she's going to cook it, because I don't know that you can cook it, but I don't know that she can cook either. So anyway, I'm going to shut up now. Going to go. I'll talk briefly about the makeup again. This is the e.l.f. Let's see if I brought it. Yeah. This is the e.l.f. Skin Tint Light Dewy Finish. Now, it is dewy, but it's not so dewy that well, I take that back. I don't wear moisturizer with it. I just apply this as the moisturizer. So if you have dry skin, go ahead and apply a moisturizer. But if you have oily skin, I suggest just using this as the moisturizer, because it is a little dewy. And I said yesterday, I felt it was a little bit too dewy up in here. Up in here. And I don't know if that got on camera or not. This is $18. I have 5 light warm. I wished I'd went a shade darker, but I can, you know, bronze it up. And it is mineral sunscreen, if I hadn't said that. Shake well, and then do 5 drops, it says. I didn't do that much. But, I mean, if you're wanting to really use it for sunscreen, then yes, make sure you use as much as possible. It is a tube. Let me show you how liquidy it is. See, it drops. Come on, come on. There you go. It drops. So it's not as liquidy as some, but it is liquidy. So there you go. You can see the difference between the two hands. So there you go. I'm not going to recommend it right this minute because I still want to wear it for 5 days. But I do think that there are a lot of you that would like this. I do. Oh, no. Sorry. I don't know why. Oh, it's because I shaved this morning. Anyway, I got to go. I'll talk to y'all later. Make sure to stay in the light. Keep that light shining down on you brightly and so you're glowing. Love you. Bye.